This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane. This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
This is Liviyah Vale, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show at Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today that trusted choice for interviews all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with Liviyah Vale.
But it's always a great day when I'm around, you know?
Hell yeah. And, and can you tell us when it's a great day for the fans, when they get to see you next event-wise?
Let me think. My upcoming events in April. I have a lot going on in APW coming up soon. I am the women's champion there, so I would go grab some tickets and try and see that. What else is happening? Well, I'm going to be having some new shirts done soon, so, try and go to some shows and grab those before they sell out. And yeah, just come and see your favorite wrestler.
And where can we find you on social media as well?
My Facebook is just my name. It's just LIVIYAH VALE. My Instagram is Liviyah PW, and my Twitter is Liviyah PW as well.
All right, and the only way we could get merch right now is live.
What's that? I'm sorry.
The only way we could get merchandise right now is at the shows.
Yes, correct.
All right. And you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all her social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. All right, let's get into it. You work for Atlantic Pro Wrestling and Eastern Wrestling Alliance. Can you tell us about your relationship with those companies?
Yeah. Eastern Wrestling Alliance was, I believe it was my first out of my home company, Top Rope show. I was very lucky to have the opportunity from them. And I feel like I've grown a lot because of them. It's been some great opportunities having triple threat match with Shannon, Levangie, and Spike. It was such a great night. And, my first match there was Sara bully Jade. I didn't come out victorious in that one, but it's okay. It just gave me a little bit more fire. And I came back stronger and I won the triple threat. And then this upcoming show, May 4th, there is going to be a great one. I wouldn't want to miss it.
So, Top Pro Wrestling is essentially your home promotion, correct?
Yes, Top Rope.
All right. Well, as you mentioned, you are the Atlantic Pro Wrestling champion.
I am.
You beat Sara, Jade, Little Mean Kathleen, and Vanity Fiction. Can you tell us about that experience in that moment?
Well, it was really a great moment for me. I already beat Vanity in December, and then I got to beat her again, and I can plan on continuing that as long as she wants to keep coming back and losing. But it was a great moment, honestly. I was sad none of my family was there, but it's okay because I got to bring that belt home and show it all off to everyone, and just try and make everyone around me proud. It was a good night. I was very thankful for the opportunity.
And it is your first championship. Is that a moment you take in the moment, or is it something that kind of sets in afterwards, like, wow, I did this?
In the moment, I was happy. I was pretty happy, but once I got back there and I got to see my friends' faces that were so excited for me, I was like, wow, I really did that. It was very um, rewarding, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Well, you mentioned that you already have a couple W's on Vanity, but it's bittersweet to get well, not bittersweet, but sweet to get a W on Sarah Jade, considering she bested you the last time.
Oh, of course. Any opportunity I get to wrestle Sarah Jade is going to be a good night.
And I believe that was your first time in the ring with Little Mean Kathleen, no?
Yes, it was.
Oh,
It was good. Kathleen is a fantastic wrestler. So I was very glad to share that moment with her. Even happier to be the one to beat her.
yes. Love Little Mean Kathleen. Big friend of the show.
Yeah, she's fantastic, honestly. I can't say anything bad about her.
Oh yeah. Now, you could correct me if I'm wrong here. But the Fatal 4-Way to win that championship wasn't necessarily the plan to begin with. It was a tournament. You were going to be in a tournament match, and then it turned.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Could you kind of take us through that and, like, adjusting from a singles match to then just getting thrusted into a Fatal 4?
Yeah, it was it was certainly a surprise. I was planning on wrestling Sarah. I've wrestled her so many times for years now probably, and so I was looking forward to that. But then when I saw the new graphic, I was like, oh, that's going to be interesting. I've only participated in two triple threat matches, and adding another contender on top of that was definitely a challenge that night. But I guess putting pressure on me like a diamond, or whatever the saying is, put pressure or something. I shine like a diamond in pressure, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, preparing for just like a tournament match for a potential world championship to this match is for the championship.
Totally changes your perspective. You got to get your head in the game.
And you could correct me if I'm wrong here. But your in ring debut was September of last year, right?
Yes, correct. The beginning of September, I think.
So what does it kind of mean to you, being so young in your career to get such a big accolade?
It feels great because I've been working for this. I started training when I was 12. Um, so to finally see all the hard work and consistency pay off, what seems to everyone else so quickly, but to me, this has been years leading up to this. It feels good. It feels really good to finally make it happen and show everyone what I can really do.
So somewhat of a validating moment.
Right, correct, yeah.
Um, you know, you mentioned you started at 12 years old. Is that where the nickname "the last kid of the kingdom" comes from?
Yes. Yeah, when I started training with Matt Taven and Vincent at XWA, I was pretty much um, the last student to come out of theirs before every aspect started changing of like coaching for me. Um, so it's great to finally display how much of a good student they can make out of someone.
So is that your official nickname or just kind of a moniker bestowed on you?
Just kind of bestowed on me, yeah, by some other kids of the kingdom, I guess.
So we're not adapting it into the last kid of the kingdom, Liviyah Vale.
Not yet. Maybe later.
Okay, fair enough. That being said, you mentioned Matt Taven. How often did he remind you that he's Matt Taven?
Every class. As first thing he said, every time.
And I mean, how often has Vincent just snapped his fingers?
Oh, he doesn't say anything. That's all he does. That's how he communicates.
So basically, you just have to pick it up from the snapping.
Yeah, you'll learn once you're around him enough.
Gotcha. Alright. You know, like I said, you've been wrestling since September. I don't necessarily want to say you kind of get thrown into the fire with some of these matchups because the New England area is just filled with incredible female wrestlers. Um,
100%.
and you mentioned the match, Shannon Lavangi and Spike. Obviously Lavangi, making a name for herself as well. Already a big name, honestly. So what was that match like for you?
It was great. We were that day, sort of like what happened with the Fatal 4-Way last weekend. It wasn't. We were expecting a tag match, and then it changed into a triple threat. But that match is probably one of my favorites I've had. I know I haven't had a lot, but it was really really great to work with Shannon. She's someone I've seen the whole time, and she's an incredible athlete, and Spike is coming up too, and she was she was tough, but I guess I'm the toughest.
Now you mentioned that that was supposed to be, a tag team match as well. It seems like a lot of these matches are kind of getting changed up on you like last minute. How do you kind of readjust?
um it's a good question. I I can't say. I mean, I have usually a little bit of a drive on the way to these events, so I have some time to think about it and prepare. But sometimes you don't. And you just have to go in there and try your best and hopefully walk out the winner.
Okay. Well, before you started as a pro wrestler, you were a backstage interviewer. Some might
Yes.
say that that's more of a dangerous job than actually getting in the ring. Uh, what did you learn during that time that helped you in the ring?
Um, I would say it helped me get a better idea of some of the people I was going to be working with. Interviewing DJ and Ilya Markopoulos, taught me to stay away from them. Um, and the one time I interviewed Sara and she pushed me down. Yep. That's why we have so much competitiveness between us.
so, so basically, your rivalry with Sarah goes back to day one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But was there anything at that time that maybe became like a light bulb moment that helped you click for when you actually, had to cut a promo or do something in the ring that required those talents?
Yeah, it's being on the microphone was a very scary thing for me, like for a very long time. I can just say probably since maybe January I haven't been so horrified of it. But I remember the first time at training I got asked to cut a promo. my first day, and I just started crying because the thought of talking in front of just a group of 10 people was making me so nervous. And then, you know, having the microphone in my hand, standing in the PAL in front of a bunch of people was again very nerve-wracking, but it gets easier and easier each time. You know, it's something you have to do to get over it.
It's great that your coaches obviously saw that that was an area you needed to focus on. No.
Yeah, totally.
Um, Something you can't necessarily prepare for. That's Sammy Chaos. Uh, can you tell us about your match against Sammy?
I tried my best to prepare for that one, and that didn't end up too good for me, did it? But you know, it was a learning experience. I'm ready for Sammy next time, and I'm ready for Vile next time. I know what to expect. You know, I won't expect her to make an actual entrance like a normal wrestler. I'll be watching out for those lights to go out and for that scream from Vile. But you know, my first Let's Wrestle show, that was definitely an unforgettable one for me.
Well, despite Sammy may be taking some liberties in that match, it was for Let's Wrestle. Obviously, Let's Wrestle is a precursor to Limitless. So what it kind of mean to you to make your Let's Wrestle debut?
I was very excited. Just the opportunity that I was given, I was very, very lucky. You know, like you said, I debuted it in September. That match was in January, maybe, so not long at all. And going there, maybe I felt like I was a little bit underexperienced, but I'm still very grateful for the opportunity, and I hope that I will be back as soon as possible. I would love to have another match with Sammy Chaos.
Oh yeah, and this time you'll have night vision goggles.
Yes, I will.
You remember when Randy Orton just put those night vision goggles on and had a chair ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright. Another hard hitting wrestler you've been in the ring with, Nakoma Tala. Quite literally hard hitting. Can you tell us about that match?
Those chops are deadly. If Nakoma is going to chop you, I advise you to run his way as far as possible, as fast as possible. That's another match maybe I should have prepared myself for a little bit better mentally and done my homework on Nakoma. But, I mean, at the end of the day, who walked out with the victory?
Oh yeah. Now, as mentioned before, the last kid of the kingdom, and your kingdom family is around you a lot. What did it kind of mean to you to team up with Waves and Claws?
That match was something that I was looking so forward to for such a long time. Um, my first day training, the person who was always, the nicest to me, who, went out of his way to make sure I felt comfortable, who was trying to make me smile and laugh, was Trayvon. And I can't say enough good things about them. They are truly like big brothers to me. And to be able to team up with them was just a very, again, another rewarding moment. I'm sure it was for all of us, but especially me, to have, literally my big brothers in my corner for me, knowing that I can go back to them and that, it's going to be okay. Whether we lost the match or not, we are still, the Kingdom family, and it was just a great night for us.
Is that kind of like a full circle moment for you?
Yeah, it was very full circle. You know, we wanted to make our coaches proud with that match, and I hope we did.
And you know, just keeping up on the good times. Obviously, you got to beat up Sarah Jade a little bit more.
Of course.
All right. It is time for Livia's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Well, I mean, you know, driving to Fall River and Brockton, crazy things are bound to happen, you know, those crazy cities. On my way home from Newburyport this weekend, it was so crazy on the road, so windy and rainy. And I feel like I run into that every time I'm on my way home. And the weather's never just good. I had a headlight out, you know, it was not fun coming back. But for the most part, I'm pretty lucky. You know, I'm a little bit paranoid. I always say a prayer when I'm driving on my way back, and you know, I try to be very, very careful driving.
Okay. So, probably not take a road trip with one of the reckless drivers.
No, no, no. I am the driver.
Oh, so you're calling driver's seat.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then when they're like, Olivia, more than 20 miles an hour.
No, no, no. We go slow over here.
All right. Um, Now everybody knows that we've had some bizarre and unique encounters on the show of the paranormal and extraterrestrial nature. Have you had a paranormal or extraterrestrial encounter before?
I don't recall so. You know, when I was little, I used to think that my dad's house was haunted, but I don't think it was now. I think I was just a little bit nervous. As a kid, you know, I was a scaredy cat of everything. Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if I was just being over dramatic. And I can't recall anything of that sort.
Or was there a reason you thought it was haunted?
No, no, not really. I just don't think I liked the house at that time. I think I just wanted an excuse to complain.
Fair enough. Now, when you're not Liviyah Vale, you're Sting?
Yes, yes, I am. I don't really remember how that joke started. I think we were just practicing finishers one day, and we were just all yelling at each other that we were Sting. You know, it's a joke between me, Trayvon, Love Doug, the American Sumo, Mike Gamble, Little Mean Kathleen. You know, it Brett too. You know, Brett Ryan Gosling. I really don't remember how it started, but yes, we're all Sting.
And quite rightly, you are the only Sting now because Sting has retired.
Exactly. Last Sting standing.
Well, like considering his kids look eerily similar to him, there might be some new Stings on the way.
Exactly. Yep, and I'm one of them.
That might be an interesting match. Who's the next Sting? All right. Um. Now, on the show, we like to say everybody is nerdy, geeky, geeks out for something. Um, what does Liviyah Vale geek out for?
Oh, that's a long list. What do I geek out for? there's still some wrestlers that really get me excited. Like growing up watching wrestling, Finn Balor is my favorite. I bought a replica jacket of his with all the money I saved up when I was probably 9 years old. When he would do his entrance and I was watching, I would put the jacket on and do it with him. And, but that's, I just, like, I appreciate him so much for that, because he's genuinely probably one of the reasons that I really wanted to start doing this. And God forbid he ever brings out the demon again, I will still geek out for that.
Well, luckily I was fortunate enough to see him as the demon.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. That's so jealous.
Not as lucky as you would think. It was the Hell in a Cell match with Edge.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not good, but that's okay. It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
It was cool up until that moment.
Yeah.
So the things you don't, one of the things you don't geek out for is Big Time Rush.
I love Big Time Rush. I will geek out for Big Time Rush any day. I saw them last year. I'm going to go see them again this year, and I'm going to geek out just as hard as I did last year.
Where does this love for Big Time Rush come from?
Well, I used to watch them when I was growing up, and my cousin, who's a few years older than me, had the opportunity to go see them when I didn't have the opportunity to go see them, and I was so jealous of her for so long. And I missed their tour. I think it was in 2022 or maybe the year before, because I didn't know they were coming and I had work that day, so I couldn't go. And so the next year I was like, I'm not missing this. And I saw them, and it was genuinely one of the best concerts I've ever been to. And it was just such a fulfilling moment, when you see something like that you used to idolize on TV, and you had the CDs, and you still have the CDs that are like 10 years old now, and you still listen to them, and your little sister listens to them with you. It was, and I got to hug my favorite member because he came right through in the crowd right by me. That was the best moment of my life.
That is absolutely
But
awesome.
yeah, it was amazing. It was such a good night for me. And it's funny, I'm on my phone right now, and I have one piece of confetti left in the back of my phone case from that concert.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. But you're a bit of a throwback. CDs.
Oh, I love CDs. I collect them. I collect vinyls. I'm pretty big on music, and like having it in that form, because what if I don't have my phone? My car, the main reason I bought my old car is because it has a 6 storage CD player thing in it.
Wow, that's awesome. I haven't seen one of those cars for quite some time.
I know, right?
But yeah, CDs, DVDs are kind of going obsolete at this point, but definitely underappreciated.
Oh yeah. I mean, what like what would you do without him? What if you needed it? What if you didn't have your phone and you wanted to listen to music? That's what you got the car for.
Exactly, and on the same thread with DVDs, like if the Wi-Fi goes out, like you can't watch Netflix, but you do have a disc that you could put in that doesn't require
Totally.
it.
Right.
So what are your top CDs?
That's such a hard question. I Hmm. I like so many different kinds of music. You know, growing up, my dad always raised me on older hair metal. So that's still definitely a part of what I like to listen to. You know, we went and saw Iron Maiden a few years back, and that was an amazing concert, surprisingly, for a bunch of dinosaurs. My top CDs. I really love the band Greta Van Fleet. I've seen them I'm gonna see them 3 times. I have a concert of theirs this year. But The Battle at Garden's Gate by Greta Van Fleet is just, I can't skip any song on that album. You know, it's so good. Honestly, any album by Greta Van Fleet, it's just, you know, that's who I use for my entrance music. You know, they're a big part of my music taste. I really, you know, I love them. They have like an older sound to them. But yeah, they're great. Trying to think. I really love the band The Driver Era. I'm going to see them twice this year. They have a really good album called X. So I guess my preteen or years listening to that. I love Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah.
The best albums ever. And for music, I really do love the 1975. They're also a big part of like my music taste.
Before or after
Their
you
first
started dating Taylor Swift?
before.
Okay.
But yeah, their first album is great. Yeah, I'm not too big on Taylor Swift. She's got some good songs though. But yeah, I love listening to music just in general and collecting CDs and vinyls and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I asked because we did have somebody on that did also like the 1975, and he was like, I liked them before Taylor Swift was involved. But everybody jumped on the bandwagon afterwards, but I was like, I was here from the start.
Oh yeah, from day one.
Yeah, day one ish. Um, when it comes to vinyl, it can be somewhat of a collection. So, is there some one piece of vinyl that you're looking at that you haven't been able to get for whatever reason?
I That's a good question. I probably have a lot of screenshots of ones that I want but haven't got, but I kind of like getting them in store better than online. I've had some pretty bad experiences with buying them online.
Hmm.
You know, I bought one time in the summer and it came in all melted and warped, and you know, it's a waste of. They're not cheap. They're not cheap now. You know.
No, they're not.
So I prefer to buy it in store. So that's kind of what puts a hindrance on it for me most of the time, because you know sometimes what you like or what you want isn't always at Target or Walmart or you know places like that.
Right.
But I really enjoy colored vinyls or like pressed like different ones. There's Newberry Comics has a lot of great selection for those, and they have like special edition ones they sell there, and they're a really cool store to go into and like look around because you really never know what you're going to find there. I found some really cool things there.
And I imagine, when you set off on the road for wrestling, you're going to see some great record shops as well.
Yeah, I've passed by Purchase Street Records before. That is such a cool store. I believe it's in New Bedford. I could be wrong. It's somewhere in Massachusetts. But if you haven't been there, oh my God, you have to go. It's really what I can like what I would imagine it would be like back in the 80s and the 90s, the way it was set up and just the entire atmosphere of the place. It's a really, really cool store.
All right. Well, I think that's a great segue into the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Big production, big producers, unlimited budget. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first three songs on your movie soundtrack?
That's a really good question. I think one of them would have to be my entrance theme, Safari Song by Greta Van Fleet. I feel like that would definitely match the vibe.
Of course.
Let's see. First three songs. That's a you never really appreciate how good a soundtrack is until you're like thinking about it, huh? um hmm. Whoever was making the soundtrack for my movie, I would want it to be the people that made it for the Iron Claw. The soundtrack to that movie was very, very incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now. I can't come up with anything.
Would you like us to come back to the question?
Yeah, maybe I'll take a look at my Spotify or something.
Pull up that Spotify. All right. Now that we're getting
Yeah,
the
let's see.
the music, the soundtrack is in the works. Once the soundtrack is down, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays Livia? And you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stanley-esque cameo. And you can choose anybody you want. Living, dead, young, old. CGI is a thing. We have a budget. Go for it.
Hmm. Well, I get told I look like certain celebrities, but I don't really feel that way. I get told I look like Emma Watson. I used to a lot.
Okay.
But I don't see that at all anymore. Who would play me? Maybe what's the girl's name? I can't think of it.
What was she in?
Have you ever seen 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yes.
Hold on, let me look up her name real quick. I know it and it's driving me insane.
Julia Stills?
Yes, that girl. When she was young, she could play me.
Alright. Now, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be three people significant to you in your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
Well, my family is the biggest supporters I could ask for. My mom, my dad, my little sister, and my stepdad. They're the best I could ever imagine having by my side, and I would not trade them for anyone else. You know, very important people in my life, like my coaches, my distant family, my good friends. But I don't think I could pass up. I don't think I could pass up my family for anyone else. So it would have to be my mom, my dad, my little sister, and my stepdad.
Alright, and do you want to cast them, or would you like to leave it to casting?
I'd probably leave it to casting.
Alright, fair enough. Now, do we have two more songs?
Oh man, I forgot about that question, huh? Well, one of them would have to. It would have to be a Big Time Rush song.
Fair enough.
My favorite Big Time Rush song. it's probably No Idea. That's a very, very good song. Very good song. That could fit in my movie.
Okay. And we need one more.
Let's see. I'm just gonna pick a random song here. One Direction, they could fit in my movie too. I've loved them for forever.
Okay.
Let's see, One Direction song. You know what? Night Changes would be a good movie song. I feel like that could fit.
All right. Now, do you lock those answers in?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock it in.
All right, we are locked in. All right, and it's starting to develop into a great big blockbuster, as we all knew it would, and you can pre-order the tickets now. All right, can you tell us about your fascination with DM scammers?
With what? What was that again? I'm sorry.
DM scammers?
DM Scamos? What is that?
Direct message scammers.
Oh, okay. They're funny. They're very funny. I saw one the other day of someone trying to be Lady Gaga. It was hysterical. I want someone to do it to me so bad.
That's such an odd thing to say.
It's because I've got stuff prepared back for him. I'm gonna pretend too.
Oh, so you will be Bradley Cooper to her Lady Gaga.
Exactly. I think it's not good if you do it well, but those people that are doing it badly, they're the best because they're providing the entertainment.
I saw one that was like, I'm Robert Downey Jr. and give me money so I could come see you. I'll bring Chris Evans. Like Chris Evans was a bigger star.
I'll bring Chris Evans.
Like, what the hell?
It's so ridiculous.
It's definitely interesting to say the least. Alright, on to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
I am not a picky eater. I will eat pretty much anything put in front of me if I'm hungry enough, and I'm totally fine with pineapple on pizza.
But
And
would you... Oh, continue.
it's not something like I would crave all the time. I would rather have like a normal pizza probably, but if it's there, I'll eat it. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, so you're leaning more pro rather than anti.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright. What's your spirit Pokemon?
I can't say I know a lot about Pokemon. I wasn't allowed to have them as a kid.
Really?
So, yeah, I no, not Pokemon. That's not even one. Is it? What's the yellow one? Is
Pikachu.
it Pikachu? That one, I guess. I don't know. I don't know any other ones.
Fair enough. We will accept Pikachu. Not at it. Love the OGs. Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Thug? THUG.
I don't. What is it?
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. 'Cause a Doug can't spell.
They sure can't.
Yes, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. We're trying to keep the memory alive.
Oh.
Now, weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview. Hopefully, would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical rock.
I mean, if I can get the victory, I'll wrestle anyone.
What if they say the
Or
rock's going
anything.
over?
What's that?
What if they say the rock has to go over?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know if I can ruin my championship reputation like that. I'm gonna have to pass.
Yeah, just like Sara do that one. Well, just just for context, there's this wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a rock for over 15 minutes in a tungsten man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Where was this?
That is a part of Backyard Pro.
Oh, sounds it.
I will, if you want, I could send you the match.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
That being said, I will not spoil it for you, but I will tell you that The Rock is the world champion heading into that match.
Yeah, I can see why. Sounds like a tough rock.
He'll definitely put you in a hard place. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I hopefully, I see myself wrestling for a, a big company. You know, I I'm trying to work as hard as I can with um, practicing and being in the gym and going to shows and I don't plan on quitting. You know, this is truly what I want in my life. And one thing I can say about myself, and I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I'm a very dedicated person, and if I want something, it's going to happen.
Oh yeah. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you are all about?
That I've had so far or
Yes,
upcoming?
that you've already had.
A good one. I would probably say the triple threat at EWA with Shannon and Spike. That's probably my favorite I've had so far. And I believe it should be on YouTube on their Eastern Wrestling Alliance YouTube channel within a few weeks.
Perfect. I will go to YouTube and I will pull that match and I will put a link to it in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview.
Yeah.
And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is our speed round or bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I guess so.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Oh man, I love Jeff Hardy. You know, he's fantastic.
Worst wrestler.
Worst wrestler. Worst wrestler. Man, these questions got me drawing blanks all night. I'm just like, oh, wrestler? What do you mean? Wrestling? What is that? Oh my goodness.
Would you like the default answer?
Yeah, I'm curious to what the default answer is.
You have chosen Eva Marie.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, you chose her, so yeah.
Yeah.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Present wrestlers?
Anybody. Past, present. We could get the Ouija board out.
Female or doesn't matter?
Don't matter.
I mean, Finn Balor would be a dream match, any day. But also since I've been a little girl, it has been a dream to wrestle Sasha Banks one day.
Alright, I dig it. Sting versus Finn Balor.
Exactly.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Oh, it's hard to answer Finn Balor again, so I'll give you someone else.
I mean, you
But just
can.
know Finn Balor is the true answer, but someone else? Oh, there's so many good. Edge, probably. His old music.
The current one?
His older music.
The Rob Zombie one?
Yeah.
Okay. Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is.
Kayfabe is silliness.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Squash. Does it have seeds in it?
Well, that would give the answer away, now wouldn't it?
I think it's fruit. Yeah?
That would be correct.
I'm so smart.
It does indeed have seeds. Tomato logic. New Japan wrestler Tai Chi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
For men, I would say no cheeks coming out. I don't think anyone wants to see that. For girls, I think it's a little bit, the standard's a little bit lower, but for men, keep that tucked. We don't want to see that.
Alright. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
Man, it happened to me just the other day. No, I'm kidding. That has never happened to me.
And that is the correct answer.
I'd hope so.
And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I had lots of fun.
Absolutely. We like to keep it interesting for our guests.
Totally.
And once again, where can we find all things Liviyah on social media?
My Facebook is Liviyah Vale, LIVIYAH VALE, and my Twitter and Instagram are Liviyah PW.
And merchandise is in person.
Yes, at shows for now.
Gonna get a pro wrestling tee store soon.
Soon enough. Give me some time. I'm working on it.
Hey, I mean it's hard. Being a champion is busy time.
Oh, exactly,
Uh, and you don't even have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all of our social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. If you see her in person, buy a damn shirt.
Exactly. Buy a sticker, buy an 8x10, take a photo with the champ.
Hell yeah. Alright. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. But on YouTube and Castbox, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us tomorrow as we interview Chris Sara, and join us next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
You got it.
For our very special guest Liviyah Vale, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.